Doug need to come for Christmas break to Mexico, and I just want to show you all the places that I've fallen in love with, and we can go, like for the whole week, go from Cave to Zocalo to, to the pyramids, and then I think we could time it that on Christmas Eve, we could go to the top of the Paracutin volcano on horseback. It would be awesome. And as someone who has never been on horseback, I thought, horses? Volcano, Christmas Eve? I am in, this is gonna be awesome. Until it wasn't. Because about an hour and a half into this horseback ride, the horse was a lot bonier and like jauntier than I was expecting, wooden saddle. And we were going along and seeing the ruins of everything, but I realized we hadn't packed very well. We didn't really have food or any water, but it was all gonna be okay. And I went to point at something, and instead of a word coming out, instead it was this very aggressive burp. And immediately, like, my whole body knew before I did that it needed to, like, retract, like, get very tight to close all places on my body. And I knew that somehow maybe I had ingested some sort of demonic bacteria along the way, and it wanted out right now on this horse. So I tried to calm my horse down, and so I pulled on the reins and I got him to walk very smoothly. And then the guide saw him and went, and my horse is like going off like Bronco style. So I'm like, no. So I try and not see the guide, and I'm pulling my horse back down, and then he goes, well, about 4 more rounds of this, and I was like, I'm out. So I went up to the front and I said, guys, I'm so sorry. I know this is like our bucket list experience, but I can't, I'm going to be so sick. So they talked and they came back and said, you're right. You need to go back. That's the only bathroom is about 2 hours back. And we're gonna go on to the volcano.
What?
And I said, seriously? They go, oh, don't worry. The horse will bring you back.
Oh, no.
He's done this before. It's not a big deal. You'll be fine. Just don't, like, try and steer the horse at all. Don't try and, like, control him. And they left. No sooner than chivalry is dead could come out of my mouth. They were gone. And I watched my husband and his horse, their rear ends just sashaying away from me in tandem. And I thought, seriously, till death do us part. Well, I couldn't even fully put together what was going on because my horse started, he was acting like he had this, so I was so glad because at that point, the floodgates opened, my friend. It was bad. And I was just trying so hard to be sick while being extremely symmetrical because I did not want to influence the horse in any way. So I was just trying to be very straight and be sick. And of course, they told me don't get off the horse, but I had to, come on. And so I'm holding on to his robe while I'm trying to Houdini out of my pants to do the thing, and I'm getting back up and putting poopy underpants under my saddle because I am a lady. So we kept going, and he's doing his thing. I'm clammy, I'm sweaty, I kind of fall asleep on the mane for a minute. And when I wake up, I'm like, wow, he's been a champ, this horse. He does seem to be bringing us back until he went right up to this big gate that had a lock on it and barbed wire. And he was like, here I am. And this does not look anything like where we're supposed to be. And he looked at me and I was like, I had nothing to do this. I mean, I know I've been super distracting, but I don't know where this is. So with that, he kind of turned, and I think we both just started to think, we're just gonna die here. It'll make for an interesting story. But just when we were about to give up, because he was going in circles, I heard the sound of men. Not my men, but men. And they were on horses, and they were galloping towards me. And as soon as they got close, I was trying to clean up in the poopy underpants, really deep under the saddle, and just trying to look as cute as possible, even though I'm so nasty. And they came up, and then they parted, and from the volcanic ash came a man on a horse, the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life. He was a cowboy, and he had a white hat, the most beautiful white crisp shirt, and he looked at me and he went like this, and he offered me his hat, and with bile on my breath, I said, "Oh no, like you do not want me to touch that." I'm so gross. But my friends, we did not speak the same language, but he knew my plight. And he took our rope and he led us through the orchard, through the avocado field, up the hill, around the village, all the way to the Zocalo, where, because it was Christmas Eve, they were setting up the church for midnight mass, and he put me under a tree on a bench where I sat for 4 hours, dying with my horse. So that was my Christmas in Mexico on horseback. But I did get 3 awesome things out of the experience. Number 1, I lost 10 pounds in 2 hours. Right? I got to meet an angel, not the normal kind, but the hot, sexy cowboy kind. And I got the best advice you could ever get from anyone, mind you, a horse, that if you're ever in a bind, you really should just get off your high horse and just get rid of the reins.